Good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and on this day, we focus on biblical wisdom, and we are pressing through the Gospel of John, chunk by chunk, bit by bit, slug by slug. Why? Because we believe that light overpowers darkness. We believe in your life that light overpowers darkness. Light shines in darkness. John in chapter 1, verses 5 through 14, presents the idea that light, this idea that there is a source of both illumination and inspiration. Let's pause there. Light. There are sources of illumination and sources of inspiration, but there is only one source that spawns those, and that is the light of God. And that is our belief that goodness and moral uprightness are the fountains of understanding, and they have a single source. In him was light, and the light shines in darkness, and the darkness refuses or does not have the capacity to comprehend the light. Light is purity of understanding. Light is purity of understanding. Light is perfection of teaching and guidance. When you follow the light of Christ, you cannot go wrong. Light is the absence of a moral abscess. It is not moral miscommunication. It is the absolute opposite of moral decay. Light, it is this granted. Notice, it is not an innate or natural function of the human spirit. It's granted or gifted or earned through a constant course and discourse of study. It is this capacity to grasp elements and inklings of the mind and spirit and thought process of God. Light is absence of moral abscess. It's given, it's granted, and it's ironical, for the irony is that the light is presented to and present for all of humanity. But few and increasingly fewer men and women choose or select the pathway that lead to such discoveries of this open and accessible divine illumination. The light, one of the essential elemental structures and qualities of God himself, is light. Light, and how we describe it is generally through simple metaphors or human images: star power, or lamps, or brilliance, or clarity uncovered, or fire, or righteous fire. However we choose to do it, it is the facts that life has these qualities. Light is an illumination source. It's inspirational. It's the belief that goodness and moral uprightness are the fountains of understanding, and they have a single source. It is that he is the light, and he shines in darkness, and darkness cannot overpower the light of Christ. Light is purity of understanding. Light is perfection of teaching. Light is absence of moral abscess. Light is granted to all human beings. Light has irony in that few decide to actually grasp its real true source. Light is an essential elemental structure of God himself, and light is one of the ways we describe God, because this is how he described himself. Light shines. It's a causative agent. It is an accelerant. It is a brilliance that is always creating awareness. It is an awareness that causes understanding. Light is the opposite of darkness. Darkness is the absence of light. Darkness is the deliberate ignorance and then the rejection of light. Darkness is the presence of wickedness. Darkness is the arrival of dimensions of diminishing light. Dimness that precedes dusk, that leads eventually to inky black darkness. Darkness is a deliberate and intentional force that disrupts and clouds and distorts our understanding, and darkness hinders our spiritual awakening. That's what darkness does. It's the absence of light. It's deliberate ignorance. It's the presence of wickedness. It's the arrival of dimensions of diminishing light. It is a deliberate disruption and distortion of God's true intents, and it always hinders spiritual awareness. Build a life. Takeaways. Jesus Christ is life in our lives. The life of Jesus Christ creates a brilliance that rests upon and radiates inside of his followers. The light is an accelerant, isn't it? The light is a causative agency. The light brings elemental and fundamental understandings to those who grasp and absorb it. The light is available for all people at all time, in all places. The light is not easily overlooked, and yet most choose to ignore or even abolish its vibrancy and potency. Darkness is a real force. Do not overlook that. Darkness chooses and selects not to absorb or find or secure understanding. Darkness diminishes the light of God. Darkness thwarts the work of God, and darkness dulls our sensitivities. Jesus Christ is the light of the world. Jesus Christ is the light of the world. Till next time, I am Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and this is a biblical teaching moment with Dr. Steve. Go to saintalegius.org, saintalegius.org, and find out more. Travel far.